Hi, I'm Kristen. Today's workout is all about balance and unilateral movement. We don't walk in like a bilateral world, right? So it's really good to do movements that move us one side at a time and just challenge our body in that way. So I have my sneakers on. I like to work out with my sneakers on for this workout. And I have 8-pound dumbbells. That's like my good challenging weight right now. So you might go a little heavier than that or lighter. So pick your poison, as my friend Andrea says, and let's start with some warming up. We're just gonna start with standing nice and tall on your mat, softening the knees just so they're not locked, but they're engaged. Just start by rolling those shoulders out. Just getting the upper body warmed up, rolling those shoulders. And then we'll go in the opposite direction, feeling that heart opening as you circle back. 2 more. Take some deep breaths in. And now just tilt your head in one direction to the side, center, and then the other direction. I also got myself some water today. Want to make sure I stay hydrated throughout this. Sometimes I forget my water and that's no good. And back to the center one more time each side. Last one. All right, so now just circle those arms up and around. I'll just do a few of these, about 5 in each direction. And then go the other direction. This also helps just get the blood flowing before we start doing some more intense workout movements. 2 more. And bring it back. Now I'm just gonna come to the side, come to one end of your mat. You'll step one leg back, keep the back leg straight, bend that front knee, you'll lift up and do a crescent if you do yoga. If you're really tight in your hips or back, you can soften that back knee. We don't want this to be in your lower back in a yucky way, lifting up through your upper back, bring your arms down, step forward, and then we switch legs. So I'm gonna keep that back leg long because that works for me. I'm grounding down to lift up. You can really lift through your heart here and then bring it back. Let's do one more time each side. So you're breathing, you're stretching long through that back leg if that's available to you. Find that extension in your upper back and then bring it forward. One more time with the opposite leg. Finding that breath, lifting up through that heart. Woo! I lose my balance too, and then bring it back to the center. Now I'm gonna move back just a little bit and just sweep one leg forward. That opposite arm reaches towards that foot. It may or may not get there. It really just depends on the length of your arm and your leg. Right, some people have shorter legs, longer arms, vice versa. This just helps to warm up the back of those legs, those hips. Let's do one more time each leg and then bring it down through the center. All right, so we're done with our warm-up. It's always good to just get that few minutes of that in before we get moving. Now, we're gonna start with the dumbbells actually down on the floor and do some squats. I'm gonna stand to the side. So I really want you to focus on form here and see what I'm doing. My heels will go up on top of the weights. This is great because it helps us get a little deeper into the squat here. You can take your hands to your hips or in front of your heart. Do whatever feels natural here. I've got my legs about hip width apart. Now bend my knees, move my pelvis back. I'm gonna go slow for a few. Really feel like your thigh bones are moving back. So you're sitting back into that squat. You're lifting up really tall. So you sit back. I have weight in my big toe, my heels, my little toe, and lift up, and then I'm gonna sweep my arm to the side. So we'll go a little faster now. Down and up. Notice how this feels for you. So keep breathing through this. You might be able to get lower. I know for sure I can. And it's nice for me because sometimes I don't necessarily know if I have the strength or if it's a knee or something. It doesn't work for me to go super low, or this low, I should say. Strength definitely plays a role. Flexibility plays a role. You're keeping your spine long as we're doing this, right? We have 10 seconds left. You're always breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, now go down one last time, hold it, we do little pulses here. Down, up. Go to a challenging place for you. 8 more seconds. Keep breathing. You have 4, 3, 2. Those knees track over the center of your foot. Lift all the way up. All right, so now I'm gonna step behind those weights and we're gonna go into a single leg deadlift. So grab those weights for me. Today's gonna be a circuit, a few different circuits, and we'll move through them twice, 2 rounds of each circuit. So for the deadlift, I'm gonna do single leg. If you need to keep one foot down the whole time, please do. So what we'll do to start is stretch one leg back behind you. If you're gonna keep your foot down, what you'll do is keep your knee bent like a little kickstand, okay? So you're standing tall with the weights, just right down underneath your shoulders in front of your thighs. I'm gonna soften that standing leg a little bit. Now I'll start to lean forward, lift my back leg up. This is major balance. And then lifting from my butt, my abs, come back up, I'll tap my foot down. So I'll go forward. I'm gonna keep this fairly slow, I mean not snail pace, but I'm moving at a pace that works for me to be able to do this and really get into the proper form. So if you're keeping that foot down, you'll just go down. You might be able to go a little lower with your foot. I definitely can with my foot down. Good, we have 10 seconds left here, but I'm gonna continue with the single leg. You're really, again, trying to keep the heart open, that spine long. I'm gonna do one more here. So as you start to go down, again, it's hinging at your hips like we did in the squat. And then lift it back up. Okay, before we go to the other side, we're gonna do tricep, and then we'll come and do your other side. So overhead tricep here. So your legs are a little wider than your hips. You can just center yourself off. It's always good to take a little break between each one of these. So I'm gonna keep both my weights in my hands. If it feels too heavy with both weights, you'll go to one. So carefully get your arms overhead. I've got my weights connected, my elbows forward, slightly softened but engaged. Start to stretch up and bend with those arms. So what you want to watch here, I'll go to the side, is we're not flailing those ribs like those gymnastics ribs, I like to say. So you're softening the front of the ribs back. You're stretching long through those arms, keeping those elbows facing forward, right? So we're going to go for 15 more seconds. Keep breathing through this. You do as many as you can in that time. We have 6 seconds left. 3, 2, 1 more. Lift all the way up and lower down. All right, so now we'll do the other leg back for the deadlift, a single deadlift. So stretch that opposite leg back, arms down right in front of your thighs. I like to soften my standing leg, but it's still engaged. Okay, so I'll start to lean forward, lift that back leg up. Use my butt, use those abs, come right back up. I'm also really actively pulling my shoulders back to help keep my chest open so that I'm not rounding into my back. I'm not looking down to my toes, I'm keeping my gaze forward so it's in line with my neck, right? My head's in line with the rest of my body. This side's a little harder for me. I can definitely feel that I'm wanting to lean. Pay attention to what's going on in your foot. Keep weight in that big toe and that heel. Remember, you can always keep your foot down like a kickstand. Lift it up, and then sit back down. Whew, we've got 10 seconds left here. And lift. I think we can get 2 more in. Keep those shoulders pulled back, abs in. One more time. We want to make sure we're in our abs and our butt, not in our back. All right, so we're going to put those weights down. Before we go into our next side, we're just gonna give ourselves about a 30-second, next round, a 30-second quick rest. I'm gonna have a sip of water. So happy I have it here. Gonna stay hydrated. Okay, so with your weights down, we'll come stand with the heels onto the weights. Standing very tall, hands wherever you want them. You know what's going on for this one, so we're gonna go a little faster right from the get-go. So you're breathing and moving through this. As I lift, I engage through my butt. I'm not squeezing and tucking under. I think about this more as like lifting up and bringing my butt bones towards one another. So everything's pulling up, inhale down, exhale up. Use that breath, right? So we inhale, exhale. If you want to go faster than me, please do. If you want to go slower, listen to your body. We've got 10 seconds left. We've got those little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay down, little pulses. Weight in the big toe, little toe and heel, shoulders back, ribs soften back, tailbones long. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way to stand. I'm gonna step back behind my weights, bending my knees to grab those weights, lifting up with my core. When we go to the single leg deadlift. All right, so one leg goes back, arms just straight down in front of your thighs. Let's stand really tall. Start to lean forward again. I'm softening my standing leg, but it's very engaged. So I lean forward, keeping my heart open and my gaze forward, and lift back up. And lean it forward, and lift back up. So my butt of the standing leg's working. The butt of my back leg is also working. Think about internally rotating that back leg to help you stay square as best as you can, right? This balance is definitely a good challenge for me. I hope it is for you in the best way possible, right? Good challenge. It's good to wobble. If you wobble and you can find your center, that's great. This side is hard for me. One more time. Find that breath. Bring it back to the center. Lower that foot down. All right, I feel my foot a lot in that. It's wanting to take over. Okay, so now we've got our overhead triceps. Remember, you can keep both weights in your hands. You can go 1 if you want to go a little lighter. So shoulders on your back, tailbones long, abs are in. You start to lift and lower. So elbows are forward. Your neck is long, your jaw's relaxed. When your arms are up like this, your shoulders will lift slightly, right? So don't feel like you have to jam your shoulders down your back. There's a natural lift. We're halfway done here. Keep that breath going. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then lower those arms all the way down. We're gonna go to the other side for that single leg deadlift. All right, catch your breath. Give you a quick reset while you get into the position. Arms out in front of you. Standing really tall with the knees soften. We'll start to lean forward, keeping my heart open, arms long, lift back up. And you lean it forward. Keep that nice even weight in your big toe, little toe, and heel. I would even focus on big toe and heel, right? Really feel that connection into the mat. The abs are working. My front ribs are softening back towards the back ribs. My back leg is active, even though it doesn't seem like it's doing a lot. It's definitely active. It's reaching back behind. We have one more. And lift right back up. Lower that leg down. We're gonna place the weights down and go on to our next circuit. So it's gonna be a whole new series. I'm gonna grab a sip of water before we go on to this. I'm making a point to stay hydrated. I want you to do it also. All right, one quick sip. And then we're gonna move on. So you just need one weight for this one. Again, I'm gonna use the 8. If you have something a little heavier, this is pretty easy as far as what you're holding because you're holding with both arms. Another balance one, unilateral movement, balance and unilateral workout. So we'll start with your arms just out in front of you with your elbows hugged into your ribs. And then you'll take one knee and lift it up to a 90-degree angle to balance. If balance is not happening today, you keep your foot down just like we did in the last exercise. So from here, we draw a figure 8. You go down and around and up, the other side. It's definitely harder than it looks. So I cannot go too fast with my foot up. I am putting a ton of attention into my leg that's down, really actively hugging that outer hip in and breathing. Woo! Finding something in front of you to look at to help with the balance. That always helps. If you want to go smaller with that figure eight or bigger to challenge your balance. If balance is super easy for you, do it. We have 10 seconds left. Standing really tall again out of that standing leg, pulling the abs back, shoulders over your hips. 3, 2, 1, and lower that down. That wasn't a graceful landing. All right, so now bring the weight with you and come onto your hands and knees. So working down onto your mat, you'll put the weight down and then place your hands so they're next to each other and the weight's behind one of your wrists. We're going into a plank position, challenging that core. The legs will open. I'm gonna open fairly wide because I wanna have that frame to help me balance. So tailbone's long, abs are in. You can always do this with the knees down. I'm gonna keep my knees up to start, see how it goes. So from here, take the weight with the opposite hand, the opposite side, move it to the mat, place that hand down. Then the other hand will grab it, move it to the mat, place it down. Ideally, we don't move. I can't say that I'm totally still, but that's okay. Keep breathing. Whew. So you do your best. This is great for those obliques. Lifting up through that crown of your head all the way to your tailbone. Your legs are active. Keep that breath going. We're gonna do one more time, each side. Good. Place the knees down. You can sit back onto your heels for child's pose. Round your spine all the way up. Bring that weight with you and come back up to stand. Now we're gonna do your other side for the balance, that figure eight balance. So standing tall out of the leg that is planted down, lift the leg that's lifting up. Or you keep the foot down, arms are out. I'm keeping my arms close to me because it's a little easier. The further out you go, it gets harder. So I have my elbows slightly bent. And again, I'm trying to stay as still as I can, paying a lot of attention to my leg that's down, the outer hip hugging in to the center, engaging that glute. Breathing. You wouldn't think this stuff would get you winded. Well, it gets me winded. Might not get you winded, but for me, it's a great focus and balance. We have 10 seconds left. Standing tall, again, finding something to look at. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower that foot down. All right, shake that out. Take a nice deep breath. We're gonna go back down, do another set in between. Going back to the other side, another set of the weight moving, this time adding push-ups. So I'm gonna start with the weight on the opposite side this time, just to mix it up. Get yourself out into a plank position. Again, those legs, the more open they are, the more of a frame and support they'll give you. So tailbone's down, hands are really pressed strongly, open that heart. So I'm gonna move the weight, put it down, one push-up, down, up, move that weight, push up. So going at a pace that is good and challenging for you. I always have to remind myself to pick it up a little bit. I feel like I'm not the norm. Most of the time I have to tell people to slow down. Got a few more here. Again, trying your best to stay really still. I'm getting tired, so I'm definitely shifting. This is the last one. Bend the knees. Just sit back for a moment. And round your spine all the way up. Bring that weight with you. Come up to stand. We're gonna go into one more round of the single leg figure eight. Gotta catch my breath, connect my thoughts. All right, so this time we're gonna do back to back, one side and right away into the other side. So lift that leg you lifted first, reach the arms out in front of you. I'm gonna see if I can go a little faster this time. 30 seconds on the clock for this one. We're just gonna move a little quicker. If you can, hugging that outer hip in, breathing. Remember, bring it closer to you if you need that little more support, further away if you want to make it a little more challenging. I'm going to lift my leg that's lifted a little higher. We have 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower that down. Center yourself off. Roll those shoulders back. All right, stand nice and tall. Lift that other leg up, and we go into the other side right away. So again, focus on something in front of you to help you balance. Maybe don't look at me for this particular one. Lifting up tall, grounding into that bottom foot. If you wobble, great. See if you can find your center. I'm wobbly on this side today, more than I was on the other side in this round, I should say, not today. Earlier it was the other leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg, lower that weight. Shake out the legs if that feels good for you. My ankle wants a little shake out. Grab a sip of water before we start our last circuit. One last circuit, we're gonna go through it 2 times, then cool down. I'm drinking water because I want you to drink water. So this is for your benefit and mine. All right. So next we'll go on to the knees. So you'll work your way down onto your knees. You have the option of doing this with or without your weights. I'll let you choose. I'm gonna actually do a weight in the bottom arm. You'll see we're doing some kneeling side sit up, and I'm not gonna use one for the top arm. So I've got a weight in one hand. Now stretch the opposite leg out. Can flex your foot and put that foot down. So the inside of the foot's down. You're gonna reach this arm down towards the floor. This arm goes out to the side. So when you're here, we wanna do our best to get our hips right over our knee. Now I'll just do a little bit. I'll lift this palm up. We're gonna reach to the side as you lower the weight towards the floor and then lift right back up. I just know that that 8-pound in my top arm is too much, so I'm not using it. I'm gonna lift my arm a little bit higher, but the bottom arm I can do, and it's giving me a little extra weight to lift. If you wanna put this hand on your hip, you can also do that. I've got 4 more. So the trick here is really working your abs, pulling up softly through those low ribs, keeping those hips forward. We want to keep it in our core and our butt and stay out of our back. Back muscles work a little, but you don't want it to feel like it's in your joint. All right, so bring that knee in, grab your other weight, make your way onto your back for bridging. So you lie down, head's nice and heavy. We're gonna take the weights onto your hips. I love doing this with weights because it definitely helps build that strength in the butt. The glutes. So legs are about hip width apart. You're pressing strong into the feet, hearts open. You'll lift your hips up for me, just in one long line. Get them up as high as in a straight line, with those knees and your chest. So the low ribs soften down slightly. Now you'll go down for 2 counts, up for 2. Down for 2, up for 2. Every time we lift from the butt and find support with the abs. Pressing into those weights. I'm not even holding them, I'm just pressing down into them so they don't fall towards my face, and up, down, down, and up, up, lower, lower, and lift, lift. We have 10 seconds left. Weight in the big toe and the heel. It's a reminder for myself as much as it is for you. 3, 2, hold it up there on 1. Little pulses up and up and up. Keep that breath going. Soften those front ribs. Let's do 8, 7, 6. Pressing into those feet. 3, 2, 1. Round your spine all the way down. Place one weight to the side. Bring yourself up back onto your knees. This time you'll hold the weight in the opposite hand, and then you'll stretch the other leg out. So stand tall, arm out, palm faces up. Lift up tall through your spine. You're gonna lower down towards the floor, lift up. Tailbone's long, hip over your knee. You can bring that arm with you as you reach over, and then lift it up and lower that arm down. So as you're doing this, just like every exercise that we've done up to this point, it's all about how much length can you get before you really move or while you're moving. So it's before and during and after. You have 4 more. Your bottom glute, that knee that's down, is really active and helping you lift. Your waist is obviously working and those abs are definitely working. We've got 1 more here. Keep that breath going. Lift it back up. Lower that arm. Lower that knee. We're going to start round 2 with, we're going to reverse this, with the bridging. So you'll lie onto your back. Work your way onto your back. Of course, grab a sip of water if you need. We're actually going to finish this round with 2 sets of bridging. So start with the soles of the feet together. It's really the bottom of your shoes together. Again, weights on your hips. So nice and centered, hearts open, abs in. You press into the feet and down, press into the bottoms of the feet and down into the floor. You lift your hips up and go down. You lift and lower. And I'm really focusing on staying long in my spine, softening those front of those ribs. So as I'm doing this, I'm lifting from the glute still, the butt, but different area of the butt. I've said this before, we have lots of different muscles that do similar movements or the same movement. If you always work in the same direction, the same plane, the same movement, you're not getting those other muscles. So we want to keep nice and evenly strong everywhere. 10 seconds left. And if it feels yucky, doesn't feel great on your feet to have them like this, just place your feet down. 3, 2, 1. Now lift up 1 more time. Little pulses, just 8, 7, 6. Heart open, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower it down. Place 1 weight down to the side. You can actually place both weights down. Just get yourself up. I always like to move without the weights just to make sure I'm being safe. All right, so go back to the first side for the kneeling side sit up. You know what you're doing, right? You've got the weight in one hand, other leg stretches out. Reach the arm up, palm faces up. Let's grow tall through the crown of the head. Reach up and over. And lift right back up to the center. So we're grounding through the inside of the long leg foot. We're pressing down through the shin and the knee that's down. The shoulder is on your back, that chest is opened. You're really trying to lengthen through that waist to help us really work the obliques, the side waist. You have 4 more. 3 more. Stretch long as we lift. Up and over long as we lift. 2 more. I can't promise my counting's on point. I'm sure you've heard that. 1 more from many instructors and teachers over the years. And lift. I do my best. And then lower it down. We're going to go right away to the other side and then finish with bridging. And then cool it down. All right. So stretch that opposite leg out. We're going to go right into it. Lift up tall. 8 of these guys. Find that hugging in through that outer hip. We reach up. We go towards the floor. We reach up. Remember when the arm lifts, if you want to even go more over, that shoulder might lift a little. We just want to keep the neck long, keep that jaw relaxed. It helps me to keep it relaxed when I'm teaching because I'm talking. When I'm working out, it's a different story. Pull that shoulder back. It's a good reminder. And you're breathing, really filling those lungs and emptying. Reach up and over. Find that length from that top arm. Use that. We've got 2 more. Up and over. And exhale. 1 more. Reach up. Reach over. Lift up. And lower down. All right. Last little bit. Onto your back for bridging. 1 more. 1 more variation. So you'll lie down onto your backs. Shoulders on your back. Just going to stretch your arms up to the sky. Nice parallel legs for this. Anchoring those shoulders down. Lift the hips up. And your legs are really like inner hip width. They're not super wide. Really feel those low ribs softening, tailbones long. I'm going to do a little marching without the arms down. This might be more helpful to keep your elbows down, right? So I'll do 1 on each side like this. And that actually might be what I go back to. If it's available to you, lift your arms up and do it this way. If 1 leg at a time is just not working for you today, then just keep both your feet down and do the lower and lift like we did in the last variation. So as you're doing this, you're really trying to square those hips as best as you can. It's got to be a lot of butt and abs, so your hamstring, the back of your leg, isn't wanting to take over and cramp. Definitely can happen. We've got one more time, each leg. Then we get to cool it down. Hold it there, and then roll your spine all the way down. Lower those arms. We're going to place the weight to the side. Hug those knees into your chest. Just rock the knees from side to side. Place the feet down. Cross one ankle over the opposite knee. Flex that foot that just crossed over and grab behind that thigh. And we do this figure 4 stretch. Feels really good. Shoulders are on your back. Deep breath in. A lot of leg stuff in unilateral work. You know, it might not feel like the obvious burn, but it's really good for our brain. It's good for that like mind-body connection. Lower that down. We'll switch to your other side. Flexing through the foot. I also tend to flex both my feet. Anchoring your tailbone down, so as you're stretching, you're not tucking to stretch. You're really trying to get a good stretch for the hip. Nice breath. One more. And then uncross those feet. Rock yourself up to a seated position. And you are all done. You did a great job. I hope you had as much fun as I did doing that. I definitely think it's so worth doing those movements for our body and our mind, as I said. Have a great day, and I will see you next time.